You ever have that feeling? You start a new project, maybe a new workout plan, or you're trying to learn a new skill, and just a few weeks in, you quit. Why? Because you're not seeing results fast enough. It's so frustrating, right? But here's the thing. What if I told you that's not some flaw in your character, it's just a mental habit, and it's one we can totally break? So stick with me because today, we are digging into the secret to building some elite patience.
That's the big question, isn't it? We all start out with these awesome intentions, but then, poof, we get derailed. And look, the answer isn't that you don't have enough willpower. It's actually a conflict, like a little battle between two competing parts of your brain. And this battle, it's happening inside your head literally all the time.
And here it is. This is that internal battle, laid out right in front of us. Okay, so on one side, you've got the modern brain. Just think of it like a toddler who wants candy, like right now. It's been trained by all our phone notifications, social media likes, and one-day shipping to just crave a quick, easy hit of dopamine. It's what we call cheap dopamine. You get a little buzz, but you didn't really have to work for it. But then on the other side, you've got the resilient mind. Now this is the part of you that gets it. It knows that real lasting achievement doesn't come from a shortcut. Nope. It's built through consistent effort. And the satisfaction you get from that, it's so much deeper.
So if we're going to win this battle, we've got to understand the enemy first, right? So let's dive into the mechanics of what we call the instant gratification trap.
Okay, this says it all. You know that feeling, right? That urge to just give up, to grab your phone, to do literally anything other than the hard thing you're supposed to be doing? Well, that's not just in your head. It's a real physical response. It is your brain, starved of that easy stimulation, just screaming for a quick reward. So the big takeaway here, and this is super important, is that it's not you being weak. It's just your brain running an old program. And the best part? We can absolutely rewrite that program.
All right, so how do we actually rewrite that program? Well, the answer comes from this really powerful, time-tested Japanese principle for building endurance. It's time to unlock the secret of gammon.
So, what is gammon? At its core, it's the art of patiently enduring what feels, unbearable. You know how our culture is all about venting and complaining when things get tough? Gammon is the total opposite. It's about facing a challenge head-on with this quiet, calm, internal strength. And that quiet dignity, that's the secret sauce for building real resilience.
And this quote just nails the whole philosophy. Our modern instinct, our default setting, is to escape discomfort. You're bored studying? Boom, you escape to social media. That project at work is frustrating you? You escape by procrastinating. Galen teaches the exact opposite. It says, stay put, endure that moment, don't look for the escape hatch.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? Especially when our brain is screaming at us to get a distraction. Well, the entire practice, the whole thing, comes down to one single powerful action: the pause. Here's how it works. It's a simple three-step process. First, you just have to recognize the feeling. That little itch to quit, just notice it. Acknowledge it's there. Step 2, and this is the game changer, pause. Just for a second. Don't react. Don't grab your phone. Then, step 3, you intentionally weather the discomfort. And look, we're not talking about grinding for hours here. The magic happens in these tiny little bursts. Maybe for 1 minute or even just 30 seconds. You just sit with that feeling of frustration. You endure it. You don't escape. It's like if you're learning a really tough guitar chord. Instead of just giving up and throwing the guitar down, you just hold that awkward, painful position for 30 more seconds. That is gammon in action.
And here's the cool part. When you start doing this consistently, something truly incredible starts to happen inside your head. This isn't just about trying harder or using more willpower. You are physically changing your brain. Let's get into the science of how you're literally rewiring your own patience. So every single time you endure one of those moments of discomfort, think of it like you're doing a bicep curl for a super important part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. This part of your brain is like the CEO. It's in charge of focus, emotional control, and making smart, long-term decisions. So when you fight that urge to quit, you are literally strengthening the part of your brain that helps you say no to instant gratification and yes to your biggest goals.
Now, let's be real. This doesn't happen overnight. On day 1, it's going to feel forced. You'll have to actively, consciously fight that urge to escape. But you got to stick with it, because within about a month of doing this consistently, that same discomfort, it starts to feel manageable. It's not so overwhelming anymore. And a year from now, that discipline you had to force at the beginning becomes your new normal. The pause is just automatic.
And that brings us to the ultimate payoff. Because the end goal here isn't a life of constant struggle, of always having to force yourself to do things. No, it's about reaching a state of automatic discipline.
This right here, this is the transformation. Just imagine a version of you where sitting down to do the hard work isn't a huge debate in your head. It's just what you do. Imagine facing a challenge and not immediately feeling that pull to escape. By practicing Gammon, emotional control, and that deep discipline you need for your big goals, they become your new default setting. It feels totally natural, not like something you have to force.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Just take a second and really think about it. That skill you've always wanted to learn, that business you've dreamed of building, that fitness goal you keep setting for yourself. What becomes possible in your life when you finally master the art of not quitting? The answer really is just about anything.